Scorpio Sky, Christopher Daniels, Frankie Zay, collectively known as SoCal Uncensored or
SCU! This is Catch, Hook, and Shoot, the worst podcast I've ever been on. Word.
Everybody, welcome to Catch, Hook, and Shoot, the best podcast you never heard of. My name's Tom. I am your host. I want to thank everybody for watching, listening, and subscribing on YouTube, Podbean, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts from. Make sure you check out the website, catchhookshoot.com. You can find all the podcast episodes, YouTube episodes, and pretty much everything about the show, including the CHS shop, where you can find all the t-shirts and hats and everything. I will be adding some more content to the website, hopefully within the next week or so. Just adding an events page so you can see any events coming up that we may be participating in, specifically for Warrior Wrestling. They've got their Stadium Series coming up this summer where Charlie G and I will be doing internet radio commentary live from the show. So I'll have the information and links for that over there. So make sure you check it out. That's catchhookshoot.com. Make sure you're following on social media on all platforms. You can find the show at Catch Hook Shoot. Head to patreon.com/CatchHookShoot for bonus content. April content will be rolling out on April the 1st. Also, make sure you're following on Twitch. It's twitch.tv/CatchHookShoot. I've been doing watch parties over there every week to 2 weeks. I did one just yesterday of a pretty good video from 3PW. If you're not familiar with that one, it's Propane Pro Wrestling. It was one of the many wannabe successors to ECW. The video that I played last night was all about Sabu. Had a few really good matches. They were, throwbacks to ECW. One was Sabu against Gary Wolf, Sabu against Jerry Lynn, and Sabu against Al Snow. All three actually really good matches. So, that's the kind of stuff I do over on Twitch, usually Saturday nights, either 7 or 8 p.m. Need to start doing a little better job of promoting that on social media so people can check it out. But, so, head over to twitch.tv/CatchHookShoot. Give us a follow so you can get notified when we're online. Check out our Pro Wrestling Tees store, prowrestlingtees.com/CatchHookShoot, and you can find links to all of that and more on our Linktree, which is linktree/CatchHookShoot, or you can scan the little QR code in the corner of your screen if you're watching on YouTube. And if you ever want to shoot me an email, it's catchhookshoot@gmail.com. So let's get into everything going on in the wonderful world of pro wrestling this week, starting it off, as always, with the match of the week. Alright, so this week's match of the week is from AEW Dynamite, and it was the TNT Championship match. Darby Allin defending against John Silver from the Dark Order. So this is actually a really good match. It was the main event of the show. You had members of the Dark Order out there. Sting came out partway through the match just to kind of have Darby's back. And, Darby Allin did retain the championship. And then we saw Matt Hardy and his new organization run in because they, of course, have their beef with the Dark Order, and looks like they're possibly going after Darby Allin and the TNT Championship as well. But, really good match between Darby and Silver. I definitely recommend you guys check it out. John Silver really stepped up in this one, showed just how good he is in the ring. Darby Allin, for my money, probably the best guy in AEW right now, just my opinion, but he is probably my favorite AEW wrestler at the moment. So if you only are going to watch one wrestling match this week, make it Darby Allin versus Jonathan Silver from AEW Dynamite. So let's keep rolling right along into my top 3 highlights of the week, and that is called the 3 count. First up on the 3 count, Alexa Bliss and Randy Orton from the Fastlane pay-per-view last Sunday. I was kind of curious to see how this was going to be. I knew it wasn't going to be an actual match. A lot of, kind of mind games from Alexa Bliss, and we saw the re-emergence of The Fiend with a little bit of a new look. Looks to be a little burnt up, kind of a Freddy Krueger thing going on, which I thought was pretty cool. A lot of mixed reactions to it online. People are going to shit on anything, so, best not to even pay attention to it. But yeah, I liked it. I thought it was a really cool spot to bring the Fiend back. I like the way they brought him back, kind of emerging from under the ring, and I like the new look. I mean, he got burned up. You don't expect him to come back looking exactly the same as before he gets set on fire. Let's suspend a little disbelief here, guys. It's a TV show. It's fantasy. It's supposed to be, it's a supernatural character. So enjoy it. But yeah, so I thought it was pretty cool. Number 2 on the 3 count, Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston cutting a promo on basically on the Bullet Club on AEW Dynamite, talking about Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers and even the Young Bucks. So I'm liking this pairing of Mox and Kingston. Kingston now looks to be nursing a broken ankle after getting Pillmanized, quote unquote, by Omega and the Good Brothers. The Young Bucks kind of in the middle of all this. They're not really committing one way or the other, so I'm interested to see how all this is going to play out. And number 3 on the 3 count from NXT this past week, the contract signing between Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly for an unsanctioned match coming up at NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver during WrestleMania week. Just really good mic work by both guys. I mean, they really made you believe that they want to kill each other. So I really enjoyed it. It's making me look forward to the match. I think NXT doesn't disappoint when it comes to takeovers, so I don't see this one being any different. There's a lot of good matches lined up for it, but we'll get into all that when I get to the WrestleMania preview show coming up in a couple of weeks. So yeah, number 3 on the 3 count, Cole and O'Reilly with their contract signing from NXT this past week. So let's get into, we had 3 pay-per-view events this past week, so let's get into some results from that. First up was NWA's return to pay-per-view, Back for the Attack. We had a 4-way match. Slice Boogie defeated Crimson, Jax Dane, and Jordan Clearwater. A little bit of a surprise. I kind of expected Crimson to come out on top of this one. Tyrus defeated JR Kratos, one half of the NWA Tag Team Champions. Elijah Burke retained the NWA World Television Championship against Tom Latimer. Camille defeated Thunder Rosa to become number 1 contender for the NWA World Women's Championship. Trevor Murdoch retained the national championship against Chris Adonis in Chris Adonis' debut with the NWA. And Nick Aldis retained the NWA World's Heavyweight Championship against Aaron Stevens, who also is one half of the NWA World Tag Team Champions. After that, we had the WWE Fastlane pay-per-view, and on the kickoff show, we finally saw Retribution turn on Mustafa Ali. Matt Riddle did retain the United States Championship against Ali. And, of course, Ali laid into Retribution afterwards, blaming them for his loss. Mia Yim, or Reckoning, just kind of walked out. So did Shane Thorne, or Slapjack, whatever you want to call him. And then the 2 left in the ring, Dio Madden and Dijak, basically hit a double choke slam on Ali to kind of cement the split of Retribution. And then Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler retained the Women's Tag Team Championship against Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair. A lot of dissension between Sasha and Bianca. Sasha actually slapped Bianca at the end of the match. So, that's just building towards their WrestleMania match. So I think, if I remember right, I predicted Sasha and Bianca to win, but not a big surprise that they didn't get the championships. I think this was more just to build on the tension between the 2 of them and build their rivalry. Big E retained the Intercontinental Championship against Apollo Crews. Kind of a weird ending to this match. Yeah, you'd have to go back and see it. It was odd. It was one of those strange, quick pins that, it didn't. It kind of came out of nowhere. And but we are going to get a rematch between these 2 guys at WrestleMania. Braun Strowman picked up a quick win over Elias. Braun was supposed to be wrestling Shane McMahon. Shane was injured, quote-unquote, during training for the match, and picked Elias to be his replacement, and Elias basically just got decimated. Seth Rollins defeated Shinsuke Nakamura. Drew McIntyre defeated Sheamus in a no-holds-barred match, which was really a good match. I wish WWE wasn't so anti-blood, honestly, because in a match like this, you expect to see somebody bleed. I'm not saying, guys should be bleeding all over the place all the time, but there is a time and a place for it, and, a match like this is the time and the place. So that's just my opinion. And then I already talked about Alexa Bliss and Randy Orton. I guess technically Alexa Bliss won that match. The Fiend, like I said, emerged from under the ring, took out Randy Orton with the mandible claw and the Sister Abigail, and Alexa just kind of sat on top of him for the pin. So Alexa officially gets the win in that match. And then the main event, Roman Reigns retained the Universal Championship against Daniel Bryan. Now, Edge was the special guest enforcer at ringside for this match, and Bryan actually had Roman in the label lock for quite a while, to the point where Roman actually tapped, but the referee had been knocked out of the ring. Edge had actually taken a bump as well, and Edge kind of lost it and just went after both Roman and Daniel Bryan with a chair, and that's how Roman ended up getting the pinfall in that match. And then we had the Ring of Honor 19th anniversary show. On the let's see here, on the pre-show we had Shane Taylor Promotions retaining the 6-man tag team titles against the Mexa Squad, which is Bandito, Flamita, and Rey Horus. Some dissension amongst the Mexa Squad after the match, which led to a 3-way match later on in the show. Also had an appearance from Maria Kanellis, who announced a new tournament for the Ring of Honor Women's Championship. And she actually set up a match, finally, that Ring of Honor fans have been looking for a while, because this rivalry has been building quite a bit between Angelina Love and Quinn McKay. I can't wait to see this one, because like I said, this rivalry has been building for a little while. Also on the pre-show, Brian Johnson got a win over Danhausen, Eli Isom, and LSG. Then on the main show, Tracy Williams defeated Kenny King. Now, Kenny King was wrestling in place of Dragon Lee, who was injured. So Tracy Williams is your new ROH World Television Champion. Dragon Lee was the champion. Like I said, Kenny King took his place to defend the title, and Tracy Williams did pick up the win in that match, so he is your Ring of Honor World TV Champion. Dalton Castle defeated Josh Woods, who... at the end of that match, Silas Young was at ringside with Josh Woods, and Silas basically, getting all over Josh Woods, saying he can't help him anymore, and, basically washed his hands of him. Mark Briscoe defeated Flip Gordon. Jay Briscoe defeated EC3 in a grudge match. That's another one that's been building for a while. It was supposed to take place a while ago, but EC3 had to take some time off due to testing positive for COVID. Bandito got the win in that 3-way match against Flamita and Rey Horus. Vincent defeated Matt Taven in an unsanctioned match. Jonathan Gresham retained the ROH Pure Championship in a Pure Rules match against Dak Draper. The Foundation, Rhett Titus and Tracy Williams, defeated LFI, Bestia, and Kenny King to win the ROH World Tag Team Championship. So the Foundation pretty much draped in gold at this point. The only title that they're missing is the World Heavyweight title. But another interesting note at the end of this one, basically Kenny King blaming Amy Rose for the loss, and Bestia just hit her with a nasty looking spear. So apparently Amy Rose is out of LFI. And the main event, Roosh retained the ROH World Championship against Jay Lethal. And at the end of this one, we saw Homicide, Brody King, Chris Dickinson, and Tony Deppen come in and attack LFI. So apparently we've got a new faction with the returning Homicide in Ring of Honor. And these guys actually went after both LFI and the Foundation. So they're not looking to make any friends. But with Homicide, that's not surprising. So let's move on to what's been going on. What else has been going on this week? We found out Andrade has been released from the WWE. Now, he requested this a couple of weeks ago, and it was originally denied, but then the announcement came out earlier in the week that Andrade had been released, and by all accounts, he does not have a no-compete clause. He can go and wrestle pretty much anywhere, anytime he wants to. Halfway expected him to show up at the Ring of Honor show, given his affiliation with Roosh and the guys in LFI. These are the guys that started Los Ingobernables in the CMLL promotion in Mexico. So I was, halfway expecting to see him on the Ring of Honor show, but it didn't happen. Charlotte actually announced that the reason she's been off TV for a couple of weeks is that she tested positive for COVID. So hopefully she is recovering well. Had a couple more Hall of Fame announcements. Kane and the Great Khali are going into the WWE Hall of Fame. Kane, very, very well deserved. Khali, a little bit questionable. Again, a lot of people, mixed reactions to this online. I don't have an issue with it. You know, Kali, his run at the top was very short, but you know, obviously a guy that big, he's obviously got a lot of not really health problems, but mobility issues. You know, you can tell he's got a bad back, he's got bad knees. The guy's like 7'4" and 400 pounds. You know, so that's inevitable. But, you know, I think he deserves it. I don't have a problem with it. So congratulations to Kane and the Great Khali. And we've been seeing some more dissension within the Hurt business, this time with Bobby Lashley kind of getting all over Cedric and Shelton and kind of hiring all the enhancement guys in the locker room to try to take out Drew McIntyre. It was just kind of a weird situation on Raw. Asuka picked up the win over Peyton Royce in what was actually a really good match. Peyton Royce has not been getting a lot of TV time lately and not had a lot of matches. This is actually, in my opinion, a pretty damn good match. After the match, we saw Rhea Ripley come out and challenge Asuka for WrestleMania, so that one was made official for the Raw Women's Championship. Miz actually officially challenged Bad Bunny for WrestleMania, which Bad Bunny of course accepted. So it's gonna be a singles match. I had been predicting it was gonna be a tag team match, but it's gonna be Bad Bunny versus The Miz, and yeah, Bad Bunny actually hit a guitar shot on the Miz after his match. Drew McIntyre defeated Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander. As a result of that, Shelton and Cedric are banned from ringside at WrestleMania. Braun Strowman challenged Shane McMahon for a match at WrestleMania, so we're going to see that one as well. The Fiend officially challenged Randy Orton for WrestleMania. A lot of WrestleMania setup going on, but I mean, it's only 2 weeks away, so it's kind of to be expected. Moving on to some NXT news, Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez got a win in another really good women's match against Zoe Stark and Io Shirai. And this, again, just, you know, building towards the Io and Raquel match that's coming up at TakeOver. Raquel Gonzalez hit a nasty power bomb on Io Shirai after the match onto the announce table. It was announced that Danny Burch injured his shoulder last week in match against Karrion Kross and Finn Balor, which I think was pretty obvious during the match. He, you know, took a pretty nasty bump early on and was not able to get back into the match. You saw the doctors checking him out at ringside. So, yeah, Danny Burch out. They said up to 6 months with a shoulder injury, so it sounds like it's something that's probably going to require surgery. As a result of that, the NXT GM William Regal vacated the NXT Tag Team titles, and new champions are going to be crowned in a triple threat match at TakeOver, and that's going to be MSK versus the Grizzled Young Veterans versus Legado del Fantasma. So I'm looking for MSK to pull this one out, the former Rascals. I'd be very, very surprised if they're not the next NXT Tag Team champions. Karrion Kross got a win over Oney Lorcan, and after that match, we saw promo between Kross and Balor. Very, very good exchange between those two. I cannot wait to see this match. And we found out this coming week on NXT, we're going to have a 12-man battle royal. The final 6 in that battle royal will then have a gauntlet match on night 1 of TakeOver. The winner of that gauntlet match will be the number 1 contender to Johnny Gargano's North American title and get the title match at night 2 of TakeOver. Sounds like quite a bit going on there with the North American title, but interesting way to crown a number 1 contender. Tommaso Ciampa challenged Walter to a match for the UK Championship at TakeOver. Walter first refused. Ciampa got in his face. Then Imperium proceeded to beat the hell out of Tommaso Ciampa, and then Walter finally accepted the challenge. So that is going to be that is just going to be a straight up fight with those two guys. I cannot wait to see. I mean, there's a pretty big size disparity between Walter and Tommaso Ciampa, but that's going to be a fantastic match. I can't wait to see that. We saw an appearance from Shawn Michaels on NXT. He came out during a little bit of a stare down between Santos Escobar and Jordan Devlin, the 2 cruiserweight champions, and Shawn didn't say anything, just walked down to the ring, pulled a ladder out from under the ring, slid it inside. So we're going to have a ladder match to unify the cruiserweight championship. And yeah, Santos Escobar and Jordan Devlin in a ladder match, sign me up, because that's going to be I'll go out on a limb. I mean, I think it's pretty much agreed the best singles ladder match of all time is Shawn Michaels versus Razor Ramon at WrestleMania 10. But yeah, I think this one has the potential to be just as good, or at least very, very close. So I'm going to be keeping a close eye on this one. And then we had, of course, the contract signing between Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly for their unsanctioned match. Like I said, very good spot with these two guys. Moving on to NXT UK, Isla Dawn and confronted Kaylee Ray, the NXT UK Women's Champion, backstage. And Isla Dawn has been kind of having a supernatural thing of her own going on. They've been showing stuff with her, like reading tarot cards, and with the confrontation with Kaylee Ray, you saw the lights kind of changing colors and things like that. It was a cool spot. And then Ilya Dragunov got a vicious victory over Sam Gradwell. This was another very, very good match. Dragunov actually won by knockout. It was a no disqualification match, and Dragunov just at the end of the match just pounding on Gradwell. So if you haven't checked out NXT UK, at least go back and check that match out, because it was a damn good match between Ilya Dragunov and Sam Gradwell. Moving on to SmackDown, Daniel Bryan came out and kind of took over the show right off the top, saying he wants a title match at WrestleMania, making all kinds of suggestions about how that could happen. Have Edge and Roman in night 1, and then Bryan faces the winner at night 2, or something along those lines. And what ended up happening at the end of the show, Adam Pearce made the decision to make this a triple threat match for WrestleMania. So it will be Roman Reigns, Edge, and Daniel Bryan. And that didn't set well with Edge or Roman Reigns. Ended up in just a three-way brawl, and Edge just snapped and was beating the hell out of everybody. Pat Buck took a chair shot, and Edge was trying to hit concertos on both Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns. So, we're seeing the reemergence of the rated R superstar here, the guy who will do pretty much anything, and I'm liking it. So I'm very, very happy with what I'm seeing from Edge right now. Rollins got another victory over Nakamura and just proceeded to continue attacking Nakamura after the match. Cesaro made the save, so apparently we are going to see that match at WrestleMania as well. Rollins versus Cesaro. Got no issues with that. That's going to be an awesome match. Apollo Crews got a pinfall on Big E in a six-man tag team match. So, and again, as I said before, their rematch is going to take place at WrestleMania. Big E defending the Intercontinental title against Apollo once again. Had an episode of the Kevin Owens Show with Sami Zayn, and Sami Zayn announced he's going to be premiering the trailer for his documentary next week with Logan Paul, of all people. I'm sorry, I'm not a fan of Logan Paul. That's all I'm going to say. But, he's going to, he's a big, one of the biggest YouTubers out there. It'll get a lot more eyes on WWE. I understand why they're doing it. I just don't like the guy. That's all there is to it. So, whatever. But, this also resulted in KO challenging Sami Zayn for WrestleMania, which was accepted. So, we get KO versus Sami again. This match has happened many, many times, but these guys know each other so well, and they're both so good in the ring. It's pretty much impossible for the two of them to put on a bad match with each other. We saw an interview with Rey Mysterio and Dominic in the back, with basically Rey saying he wants to win the tag team titles with his son, with Dominic, and Rey actually got a victory over Dolph Ziggler, so they may be working towards a match for the SmackDown tag team titles at WrestleMania. They have not set a match for those titles yet, so I have to wait and see. But it could end up being Rey and Dominic versus Ziggler and Rude for the SmackDown titles, or they haven't worked the Street Profits in to WrestleMania yet, so it could be a triple threat. They could make it a four-way and add in Alpha Academy, Otis and Chad Gable, so we'll have to see, but I'm sure that's gonna come along at some point or another. All right, moving on to some AEW news. Ty Conti got a win over Ray Lynn in another really damn good match. This was a rematch, half a rematch from the Warrior Wrestling Stadium series last year. These two participated on opposing sides of a mixed tag team match, with Ty Conti got the win in this one. And it looks like Jade Cargill is now aligned with Vicky Guerrero and Nyla Rose. They came out to confront Big Swole and Red Velvet on AEW Dark Elevation. All Ego Ethan Page got a victory over 5 from the Dark Order. This is actually the Dark Order's first loss in quite a while on any of the AEW shows. But again, another good match between Ethan Page and 5 of the Dark Order. Ryo Mizunami got a win over Layla Hirsch. Layla Hirsch is quickly becoming one of my favorite women in AEW's women's division. As I said, she's officially been announced as being signed with AEW, but apparently she's been signed for a while. And moving on to Dark, SCU and the Dark Order continuing their winning streaks there. SCU just kind of waiting for their title match. They're ranked number 1. They have not lost a match in quite a while since Frankie Kazarian said, the next time we lose, we're splitting up. So I'm sure that's going to play out at some point into a tag team title match against the Young Bucks or whoever the champions happen to be. Dante Martin got a win over Jack Evans. After the match, Angelico came out and went on the attack against Dante. Darius came out for the save. Now, Darius Martin is injured. That's why we're seeing Dante in singles competition. So hopefully his appearance, on Dark means he's at least close to being medically cleared so that we can see Top Flight back in tag team action. Kenny Omega got the win over Matt Sydal in the opening match on Dynamite. Now, the stipulation was if Sydal would have beat Omega, he would get the championship match. But this was a damn good match. This was actually match of the week until we got to the main event. Kenny Omega got the win over Matt Sydal. We found out Christian is going to have his in-ring debut next week against Frankie Kazarian. Now, these two have wrestled before many times back in TNA, and so this is going to be an awesome freaking match next week. We saw a really good promo by the new faction Pinnacle, headed up by MJF. Calling out the Inner Circle, even roughed up Tony Schiavone a little bit. Nothing major, just kind of, pushing him around a little bit and that kind of thing. But kind of a surprise. You don't see people lay hands on Schiavone too often. But the fact that they did and the fact that he allowed it and went for it just kind of tells you, he trusts these guys. So, very good promo by Pinnacle. Then we had another promo by Team Taz on... Taz basically saying that Brian Cage apologized to the rest of Team Taz for his praise of Sting the previous week, and Cage was kind of standing off to the side, giving Taz a side eye like, I didn't, and that kind of thing. So, still a lot of tension among Team Taz. Then we had a few promos in a row on Dynamite. The next was from QT Marshall, and he basically challenged Cody Rhodes for a match this coming week, which Cody did accept, and Arn Anderson is going to be the special referee for this one. So we've got a little bit of infighting with the Nightmare Family. So this is an all Nightmare Family match with the head coach, Arn Anderson, as the referee. Then we had that great promo from Mox and Kingston after that. Lucha Brothers and Laredo Kid defeated the Young Bucks and Brandon Cutler. And then after the match, Kenny Omega came out and went on the attack on the Lucha Brothers and Laredo Kid. Basically gave the Young Bucks an ultimatum. So, kind of the gist of it was either you're with me or you're against me, trying to get them to throw up the Too Sweet and the Bullet Club and all that. And the Bucks just kind of walked away. And then the Lucha Brothers went on the attack on Kenny Omega, and the Good Brothers had to kind of get him out of the ring before they could do too much damage. Ty Conti actually got a win over Nyla Rose in a little bit, I'd call it a little bit of an upset. I didn't expect that, but Ty Conti did get the win in a good match. Nyla went on the attack afterwards. Hikaru Shida came out for the save, and the Bunny, Allie of all people, came out and went on the attack. So we're seeing a little bit more action from the women's division in AEW, which I like. I think they're going to start putting them in some more prominent roles, and which is damn good. I mean, people have been clamoring for and complaining, quite frankly, about the AEW women's division pretty much from the get-go. So it's good to see them getting put in a little bit more high-profile spots. And then the main event, of course, was Darby Allin versus John Silver, which I talked about during the match of the week. I can't tell you enough. Go back and check this match out if you haven't seen it. Moving into some Impact news, Ace Austin retained the X Division title in a rematch against TJP. Saw another promo with Kenny Omega and Don Callis, just leading up to that title match with Rich Swann. Trey Miguel got a win over AC Ramiro, and then was pretty much immediately attacked after the match by Larry D. and Sami Callihan, of all people, came out and made the save. So this thing with Callihan and Trey Miguel is just taking some weird twists and turns, and I love it. So, definitely that for me is the best storyline in Impact right now is Trey Miguel and Sami Callihan. We also found out this week that Impact will be moving to Thursdays starting on April 8th. I'd say that's a smart move considering, by all accounts, NXT is going to be moving to Tuesdays. So, for Impact to move to Thursdays where they're pretty much unopposed, definitely a smart move because Impact, being up against NXT, I mean, Impact doesn't have super high ratings as it is, and that could, trying to hang in there against NXT wouldn't be smart business. So I think they're making a good move here, moving it to Thursday starting on April 8th. Moving on to some MLW news, Alex Hammerstone has put out a challenge to Mil Muertes for April 14th. And, Mil Muertes is currently in possession of the National Openweight title belt, which really does belong to Alex Hammerstone. So this will be a championship match. Calvin Tankman had a match against one of the Contra soldiers, if you will, and all of Contra pretty much went on the attack after the match. Injustice came out for the save, so it's Injustice and Tankman against Contra is the big rivalry going on in MLW right now, and it's if you're not an MLW watcher, definitely check it out. There's no reason not to. They're on YouTube as well as their multiple platforms. They're on DAZN, they're on YouTube, they're on BN Sports. MLW is all over the place. So if you can't find MLW, you're not looking hard enough. And then the main event, the Von Erichs got a victory over Violence is Forever in a chain rope match. Pretty unique look to this one. The ring ropes were taken down and replaced with big ass steel chains. It was a very cool look to the ring with the chain ropes. Moving into some Ring of Honor news, Ring of Honor TV this past week, really good 8-man tag team match was the main event. LFI got the win over the Foundation. Some New Japan stuff going on. Will Ospreay was the winner of the New Japan Cup, so he will get a shot at the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship, currently held by Kota Ibushi. And after the victory in the New Japan Cup, Will Ospreay hit a cutter on Bea Priestley, his girlfriend, just to kind of show how important the title is to him, saying, he wants that title more than anything else and cares about it more than anything else, including his girlfriend, and hit a cutter on Bea. So, Ospreay not screwing around. And we found out this week that the new IWGP World Heavyweight Championship belt will be unveiled this coming week on March 30th. For those of you that might not know, the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship is the unified title created by the IWGP Heavyweight title and the IWGP Intercontinental title. Those belts have been unified, so a new single belt will be unveiled on March the 30th. And the opening round of the New Japan Cup USA has been set. It's going to be Clark Connors versus Leo Rush, Brody King versus Chris Dickinson, Ren Narita versus Filthy Tom Lawler, and Hikuleo, I think I'm pronouncing that right, member of the Tongan family from New Japan, taking on Fred Rosser, formerly known as Darren Young in WWE. Moving into some NWA stuff, aside from their return to pay-per-view with Back for the Attack, NWA Powerrr is also back on the air on Fight TV. Velvet Sky is the newest member of the commentary team with Joe Galli and Tim Storm. Chris Adonis aligned himself with Strictly Business, which is Nick Aldis and Tom Latimer, and they picked up a victory over the Pope, Aaron Stevens, and J.R. Kratos. And we also found out that Fred Rosser is the number one contender for the TV championship. So, yeah, Fred Rosser getting around in wrestling again, which is very good to see. So, we've got another, not really a pay-per-view event, but a premiere event coming up from MLW this coming week on March the 31st. It's called Never Say Never, and it's a free event. It's going to be on the regular YouTube, BN Sports, wherever you find MLW. It's going to be their regular episode for the week. 3 big matches. It's basically Injustice and Contra Unit the whole way through. We've got Jordan Oliver taking on Simon Gotch, Myron Reed taking on Davari, and Calvin Tankman getting a shot at the World Heavyweight Championship against Jacob Fatu. Yeah, I mean, I gotta go with Jordan Oliver against Gotch. Actually, I'm gonna go Injustice probably all the way through. Oliver over Gotch, Reed over Davari, and I'm gonna go out on a limb and pick Tankman to take the World Heavyweight title. I don't know if they'll do that quite yet, but Fatu's been champion for a long time, so like I said, I'm going out on a limb. I don't think it's actually going to happen. I think there's probably going to be some type of chicanery going on, and Fatu's going to end up coming out, still retaining the title. But we'll have to see. But those are my picks for MLW. So that's coming up this Wednesday on the 31st. And a little bit of miscellaneous news right now. Matt Cardona has been confirmed for the Warrior Wrestling Stadium Series for night 1 on June the 5th. So I am very excited about that. It'll be my first time getting to call a Matt Cardona match, so that's going to be awesome. Rumor going around, this is from Meltzer, so take it with a grain of salt, but discussions are underway to restart Lucha Underground. Now, it's not going to be Lucha Underground. Technically, they can't use the name because of trademark issues, and most of the bigger name, top guys from Lucha Underground are either with WWE or AEW. But could this possibly be something in the works with MLW, because they've got the Azteca Underground, who kind of acquired Selena De La Renta's, mostly known as Dorado. So, but I'm all for it. I don't know if it's going to be a separate show or possibly something within MLW. I mean, they only have a 1-hour show, so I'm not sure how they could fit that in unless it's just very small segments. But I was a huge fan of Lucha Underground when it was on, so if there's any way of reviving even part of it, I'm here for it. I'll watch it. I'll check it out. I will definitely give it a chance. So, hopefully this one from Meltzer is true. But like I said, it's Meltzer, so who knows? Take it with a grain of salt. So that's going to do it for news and rumors and results and previews and predictions for the week. So right now I'm going to kick it over to Charlie G, and he is here with your Indie Cut.
Thank you, Tom, and hey to wrestling friends. I am Charlie G with your Indie Cut. There was a lot of weekend wrestling action again. So let's begin with Friday, March 19th, and Dragon Gate Glorious Gate Day 6, where Ultimate Dragon was in action again, winning a 6-man tag. Back in the States, we got to Resolute Wrestling Recoil from Crossville, Tennessee. Uncle Biff defeated Cody Morton. For the IPW TV title, champion Tyler Fossey defeated Noah Hossman. And in a no-holds-barred street fight, David Firestein defeated Caleb Courageous. To Pro Wrestling All-Stars of Detroit, Double Jeopardy 2021 from Brownstone, Michigan. For the PWA SD tag titles in a street fight, champions Chuck Stein and Peter B. Beautiful defeated Frank Isaac Anderson and Sean Lawhorn. And for the Cruiser Core title, champion Mysterious Mavado defeated Alex Van Zandt. Pro South Wrestling Piedmont, Alabama. For the All Out title, champion Brandon Watley defeated Shane Mako. For the tag titles, 2 out of 3 Falls match, champions Ace Haven and Damian Seratone defeated Chris Crunk and Cody Steele. And for the heavyweight title, champion Austin Towers defeated William Huckabee. Up to Mr. Chainsaw Productions Wrestling, Don't Spit, Take 2 from Michigan. I'm not going to say that. I can't pronounce that city. Kalkaska, Michigan. So, yeah, there you go. In a scramble match, Sam Beal defeated Alex Crowley, Blake 182, Conrad Looks, Don't Die Miles, and Mitch Hewitt. Tommy Vendetta defeated Colt Radrick. For the MCPW Undisputed title, champion Jamal King defeated Max Morrison. And for the MCPW tag titles, Isaiah Browner and Jack Price defeated champions Eli Shelton and Jason Page to become new champions. down to Coastal Championship Wrestling, St. Lucie Showdown from St. Lucie, Florida. Ariel Levy, Whip Bill Alfonso defeated Super Crazy. So Super Crazy is back in action. In a three-way match, Vince Steele defeated Agony and Beastman. Brody Beastman back in action. Vinicius Whip Bill Alfonso defeated the Sandman. Yep, Sandman was back in action too. Sebastian Cage and Will Austin defeated Alex Ocean and Matthew Justice. Whip Bill Alfonso in their corner. And for the CCW Heavyweight title, champion El Jefe Santos defeated Jackal Stevens. To Action Wrestling, You Can't Do That in a Wrestling Ring. Show 1 from Tyrone, Georgia. Alex Kane defeated O'Shea Edwards. Cabana Man Dan defeated Ashton Starr. Dominic Guarini and Kevin Koo defeated Adrian Alanis and Liam Gray. And Alan Angels defeated AC Mack. So Alan Angels even got in some other action outside of AEW. And then show number 2 from Action Wrestling, Royal versus Cells 2. Adam Priest defeated Nolan Edward. In a no DQ tag match, Kevin Ryan and Shug D defeated Akira and Brett Eisen. Brett Eisen. And in their action title match, champion Eric Royal defeated Matt Sales. There was some CMLL action. El Soberano Jr. and Flyer defeated Dark Magic and Akumara by countout. And I did hear, I don't know the results, but CMLL had a pay-per-view last night on the 26th. No results yet, so hopefully I will get to those next week. On to Saturday, March 20th. New Horizon Pro Wrestling, Battle of Honor from Sussex, Australia. In the Head Shrinker Samu Legacy Cup final match, no need to go through the rest of those. Jared Slate and Salem 6 defeated Julian Ward and Michael Morleone. And for their Art of Wrestling title, champion Rogan Kargus defeated James Draker. Sorry about that. To EPW School of Pro Wrestling North Showcase number 12. Check yourself before you wreck yourself from Australia. They had a Super 9 tournament and a couple matches there. And for their tag titles, champions Jack Edwards and Taylor King defeated Chadwick Jackson and Stella Nix. So I guess we'll be talking about them later on since it was first round matches. Up to Stardom, New Century 2021 and Yamagata. Excellent show, of course. Starlight Kid defeated Lady C. Azumi and Momo Watanabe defeated Mayu Iwatani and Saida. Himeka and Siri took on Saya Kamatani and Utami Hashita to a 15-minute draw. Excellent match. B. Priestley and Konami defeated Julia and Micah. And then in a 6-1 tag, Mina Shirakawa, Tam Nakano, and Unagi Sayaka defeated Natsuka Tora, Ruaka, and Saki Kashima. Of course, Stardom always puts on a great show. As I just lost my place. Give me a minute. Sorry about that. Any day now. I'll find it. Sorry about that, people. Alright, here we go. Insane Championship Wrestling, Fight Club 164, ICW Bard. Still on WWE Network. I don't know how for much longer. I haven't subscribed to Peacock yet, so check that out if you wish. There are a total of 5 steel cage matches, including a tag team steel cage championship fight, where Dickie Divers and Jack Morris defeated champions Krager and Lou King Sharp to become the champion. Sorry if I spoiled that for anyone. Wrestling for a Cause. Prime from Owasho, Oklahoma. For the Hometown Heroes title, Dmitry Alexandrov defeated champion Tim Rockwell to become the champion. Warrior Breed Wrestling Lifeline from Hollywood, Florida. For their tag titles, champions Dante Marquise Carter and Mikey Spandex defeated Eli Knight and Malik Basuti. It's a nice day out for people, so just bear with me. For the lightweight title, champion Aaron Nova defeated champion Nick Grayson to become the champion. And in their women's title, champion Shalaz Rain defeated Ashante. I'm guessing on that one. United States Championship Wrestling from Jacksonville, Florida. For their cruiserweight title, champion Chasen Rance defeated Tone Haro. For the U.S. heavyweight title, champion Dion James defeated Bobby Lager. Over to Southwest Wrestling Entertainment, Clash in Canton from Canton, Texas. You could find these matches on YouTube eventually. I found that out the hard way. Didn't know they were actually there, but you could find these matches eventually. So I don't know what I'd be spoiling in this. So there was Amelia Hosaka defeated Rosemary by DQ. For the SWE tag titles, John Amari and Mike Anthony, who are champions, defeated Jeremy Wyatt and Niles Plank. Hernandez defeated the Midnight Special. Gangrel defeated Cam Cole. For the SWE Women's title, champion Christy James defeated Amber Nova. For their TV title, champion Rodney Mack defeated the Midnight Special. Also, Demos with Teal Piper in his corner. So it's nice to see Teal still trying to do something in wrestling. Defeated Michael Schaefer. They held a battle royal where the Blood Hunter with Selena De La Renta teamed with Gangrel to defeat Andrew Anderson, Bam Bam Malone, Cam Cole, Demos, and Frank Stone. For the heavyweight title, champion Charlie House defeated Edge Stone. Kaz XL with Melina in his corner. So Big Kaz had Melina in his corner here. Defeated Christian Mox. I can't wait. I hope to watch these matches. For their TV title, once again, Rodney Mack, who's champion, defeated Nobe Bryant. For their Texas title, Falls Count Anywhere match. For the vacant title, the Blood Hunter with Selena De La Renta defeated Gangrel to become the champion. And then for the SWE heavyweight title, champion Charlie House once again defeated Will All Day. So some really cool wrestlers in this promotion, and it's free on YouTube, so check that out if you can. On to Southern Fried Championship Wrestling, Homecoming from Monroe, Georgia. For the SFCW heavyweight title, champion Griff Garrison defeated Bryce Cannon. Ashton Starr defeated Ziggy Dice. In a classic title number one contendership match, CT Keys won that. For the tag titles, champions Adrian Hawkins and Bobby Moore defeated Brian Blaze and Shane Marks. And the winner of the Battle Royal, CT Keys, defeated the classic champion Todd Sexton to become new champion on the same day. So congrats to him. On to Real Pro Wrestling Resurgent from Ave Maria, Florida. You are now on the map. I know I've never seen that before. For their tag titles, Giovanni Colon and Justin Matthews, who are champions, defeated Logan Cruz and Wheezy T. Oh, gotta love these indie names, right? To Rhodes Wrestling Academy Showcase. Yes, so that's Dustin Rhodes Wrestling Academy. Check that out on YouTube from Liberty Hill, Texas. So they're not in Georgia, so that's a completely different group, I believe, than the Nightmare Factory. So check that out as you wish. Over to Renegade Championship Wrestling, Best of the 7. They had a Best of the 7 tournament, and the Final Four match was Ethan Cage defeating Austin Towers, Jaden Newman, and Mikey Watkins. Platinum Pro Wrestling Slam Fest Battle of the Midway number 2 from Naples, Florida. For the Platinum title match, champion CJ O'Doyle defeated Larry Lane. And then quickly thereafter, Big Khan defeated CJ O'Doyle to become new champion. Down to Metroplex Wrestling Showdown from Bedford, Texas. For the Addicts title, Exodus Prime defeated champion Zero the Anti-Hero to become new champion. And in the Prospects title, Jackson Stone defeated champion Joe Angelo Garcia by DQ, so no title change there. On to Thunder Rosa's Mission Pro Wrestling, Empty Promises from Buda, Texas. You could have found that on High Spots Network, as well as Title Match Network. Haladead and Thunder Rosa defeated Jasmine Allure and Queen Aminata. Layla Hirsch took on Martha Slamovich in a double DQ. Genocide defeated Rochelle Chanel. Kylan King defeated Ray Lynn. Nyla Rose defeated Baby D. And for their MPW title, champion La Rosa Negra defeated Rochelle Rose. Back over to Intense Wrestling Entertainment, second anniversary show from Augusta, Georgia. O'Shea Edwards defeated EC3 by DQ. So EC3 is working other places other than Ring of Honor. So there's a chance he might be at Warrior. You never know. For their tag titles, champions Coach Mikey and Rob Killjoy defeated Brandon Parker and Charlie Anarchy. And Alexander Hammerstone took on Sean Legacy to a no contest. So even Hammerstone got into some other company for a match or two. Nice to see. Up to Hardcore Wrestling Organization. Bad Luck, It Can't Last Forever from Williamstown, New Jersey. For the H2O Hybrid title, Mouse defeated Dylan McKay, champion Frankie Picard, and Lucky 13 to become new champion. And Ricky Shane Page defeated Marcus Mathers. Frontline Pro 25, Call to Arms from Spencer, Wisconsin. For the Pro Battle title, no DQ match, Rough Crossing defeated champion Jay Cash to become the champion. And in their Pro Heavyweight title, champion Cody Jacobs defeated Logan Lynch. Back down to Coastal Championship Wrestling, Anniversary 17 from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Ariel Levy and Vinicius with Bill Alfonso, who are tag champions, defeated Mosh and Thrashers. Yep, the Headbangers were in action. Wow. In a two-way match, the Sandman defeated Alex Ocean and Matthew Justice. Okay. For the CCW Ladies title ladder match, Marina Tucker defeated champion Roma and La Brava to become new champion. For the Southeastern Heavyweight title, Hair versus Hair match, Jackal Stevens defeated champion Bugs Moran to become new champion and keep their hair. And in a Tornado Tag Team Steel Cage match, Mr. C and Salazar defeated Charlie and Vince Steele. And Coastal Championship Wrestling puts on some really good events. There was a Universal Wrestling Alliance show from Mexico where, yeah, nothing big about that. On to Sunday, March 21st. YMZ Pro Wrestling Gokigen Spring Battle 2021 Mini. For the Pure J Openweight title, champion Kari Yoniyama defeated Shai Ozura. Stardom New Century 2021 and Sendai. Konami defeated Mina Shirakawa. Azumi and Saya Kamatani defeated Himeka and Lady C. Tam Nakano and Unagi Sayaka defeated Bea Priestley and Saki Kashima. Sorry about that. interesting about the Bea Priestley, she did this show and then quickly went over to the New Japan show. I'll get to that in a minute. But she got over to New Japan before the main event. So, Momo Watanabe and Utami Hayashita defeated Natsuka Tora and Ruaka by DQ, of course. And 6-1 tag, Julia, Mikey, and Siri defeated Mayu Iwatani, Saida, and Starlight Kid. Wonderful show once again by Stardom. They can't miss a beat, I swear. Noah, the Infinity 2021 for the GHC Junior Heavyweight title, tag titles. Sorry about that. Champions Hayata and Yoshinari Ogawa defeated Daisuke Harada and Junta Miyawaki. I believe that's okay. And for their national title, Kazuyuki Fujita defeated champion Kano to become new champion. As I said, New Japan Cup final day 13. In the final match, it was Will Ospreay with Bea Priestley in his corner, along with Empire, defeated Shingo Takagi in a glorious 30-minute match. If you can watch it, please do. At the end of the match, Will Ospreay said, going for the title means everything, and then Oz cuttered Bea Priestley. So it looks like, and then he cut a promo. It sounds like he's single. You never know what Will, but you never know what Bea is. So it was an interesting night to watch. Actually, it was over, so it was on early enough that I could stay up for it all. Great show and cool ending. I'm glad Will won. He will be going against Kota Ibushi April 4th with the new title in hand. So we'll see how that goes. There was a Pro Wrestling Diana show on YouTube, if anyone wants to check that out. On to All Japan Dream Power Series 21, Day 4, where for the All Japan Junior Heavyweight title, champion Shima defeated Izanagi, and for the Triple Crown title, champion Suwama defeated Yoshitatsu. Back here in the States, for Platinum Pro Wrestling, Slamfest Battle of the Midway, a battle on the Midway number 3. For the Diamonds Division title, Humbra Kato defeated champion Casey Lennox to become the champion. And then, of course, on Sunday, it was NWA Back for the Tag on Fight TV. For the first show back, it was okay. It wasn't the best. It wasn't the greatest. It wasn't the best either. It was decent. And even Terrence Terrell showed up to do commentary. That was. Skip that. Okay. On to Monday, March 22nd. Kanamu Chaka Pro number 99 on YouTube. Dramatic Dream Team Wrestling. Onki Hazama 2021. Daisuke Sasaki and Tetsuya Endo defeated Antonio Honda and Yuki Ino. And Jun Yakiyama teamed with Makoto Ooshi and Hiroshima to defeat Chris Brooks, Kazushita Higuchi, and Keigo Nakamura. There was one Collegiate Pro Wrestling Rising Night on YouTube, so check that out on Monday. On to Tuesday, March 23rd. DDT was back in action, wrestling Shikobu 2021, where Jun Akiyama and Makoto Ooshi teamed with Yusuke Okada to defeat Kazushita Higuchi, Yukio Sakaguchi, and Toi Kojima. And then here we go, PPP Tokyo, Frenzy Bubble Haka Regional Festival. I believe this is why Collegiate Pro was on break, because Shima was in 3 matches, winning one and beating Shakira in 5 seconds, beating Shakira in 10 seconds, and then beating Shakira in 4 minutes 55 seconds. Don't mess with Shima, huh? Then in a tag match, it was Single Hero Erie and T-Hawk defeating Joji Otani and Masayuka Mito-Mio. Yeah. Sorry about mispronouncing those names. Back here in the States for Ohio Valley Wrestling TV 1128, Mahabali Shera defeated Abraham. And for the National Heavyweight number 1 contendership match, Dustin Jackson took on Tony Bizzo to a no contest. New South Pro Wrestling Action Class 28 on IWTV. For the New South title, champion Derek Neal defeated Duncan Mitchell. And Donnie Janela defeated Effie. So Effie even made an appearance. For the IWA Unlimited show in Noble, Illinois. For the vacant IWAU tag titles, Chris O'Brien and Devontae Knox defeated Anakin Murphy and Joey O'Reilly to become the champions. Heavy Metal Wrestling Texas Grand Prix Final from San Antonio, Texas. For the Undisputed title Grand Prix Final match, Aaron Mercer defeated Jay Sirius 9 falls to 8, or 9 points to 8. Not sure about that. ACH defeated Prince Adam. And for the Undisputed title, Jay Sirius defeated champion Aaron Mercer to become new champion. Yeah, go with that. So they fought twice against each other that day. On to Wednesday, March 24th, Wave Compliance Wave, the final show. Tokyo Pro was back in action with their Spring Tour 21, The Bullet. Mizuki defeated Moko Miyamoto. Hiruno Neko, Nai Kakuta, and Pam Hirajuku defeated Hikari Noah, Mihiro Kiru, and Sina Shiura. Shoka Nakajima defeated Suzumi and Yuka Sakazaki. That'd be a good match. Nodoka Tenma and Yuki Naino and Arisho Endo defeated Hyper Misio, Marika Kobashi, and Raku. And the main event was Miyu Watanabe and Rika Tatsumi defeating Miri Miyumi and Miyu Yamashita. On to DDT Ganbare Pro Rumble Fish 2021 where Asuka and Hagan Shinu defeated Tsuchishiro Katsumura and Shu Sakura. Yeah. So Asuka even made an appearance for DDT. Big Japan Pro Wrestling Deathmatch Survivor. Yes, Big Japan is doing a Deathmatch Survivor blocks series matches, so that has to be kind of violent and beating people up in a tournament. So I don't, yeah, that should be interesting. Back here in the States for Paradigm Pro Wrestling, UWFI Rules Contender Series number 1. For the Heavy Hitters title, champion Mo Atlas defeated Akira, and Matthew Justice defeated Dominic Guarini. Limitless The Road, Season 3, Episode 5, in a dog collar match, Rip Bison defeated Alexander Lee. On to Thursday, March 25th, Beyond the Signature Series, number 5, from Williamstown, New Jersey. I snoozed on this, or I slacked on this, I didn't get to see it. So Masha Slamovich defeated Kaya McKenna. For tomorrow semifinal match, Brandon Watts and Randy Summers defeated Edith Sorrell and St. Jackson DuPont. And then in the other semifinal match, Solo Darling and Willow Nightingale defeated PB Smooth and Trey Lamar. So that'd be a really good match. And in the best of round robin challenge, Wheeler Yuta defeated Tony Deppen. To Proving Ground Cup from Gloucestershire, Massachusetts. They had a bunch of Proving Ground Cup matches, and in the final match it was AJ Phoenix defeating Stephen Lust. Excuse me. To Southern Underground Pro, These Are Lives from Nashville, Tennessee. Dominic Guarini and Kevin Koo, who are the tag champions, defeated Eric Taylor and Mikey Montgomery. Alex Kane defeated Cole Radrick. Derek Neal defeated Effie. Alley Cat defeated Cabana Man Dan. And for the Bone Storm 3-way title match. Champion AJ Gray defeated One Called Manders and AC Mack. On to Friday, March 26th. PPP Tokyo had another show, Volume 24. There was a Chikaro Nakashima debut 25th anniversary show. Where a bunch of headliners were on that. Daisuke Sakamoto defeated Leo Isaka. And in an exhibition match, Chugasa Nagoya took on Chikaro Nagashima in a 5-minute draw. 25th anniversary, you can probably see why. To Newcastle Pro Wrestling Brawl at City Hall from Newcastle, Australia. For the Nui Pro Middleweight title, champion Matt Diamond defeated Daza. And for the Pro Heavyweight title, champion Carter Deems defeated Mick Moretti. There was a Westside Extreme Wrestling, We Love Wrestling number 6 from Germany, where they had another shotgun title match where champion Norman Harras defeated Dennis Dulnig. Back here in the States for Coastal Championship Wrestling, Rumble Rally from Coral Springs, Florida. For the CCW Tag Titles, champion Era Levy and Vinicius defeated Nick Turner and S25, or S2S, my bad. New Japan Strong 33, Road to Strong Style Evolved. New Japan Cup qualifying matches, Clark Connors defeated TJP. I don't know about that one. And Chris Dickinson defeated Blake Christian. I kind of figured that one. Then there was a tag match of David Finlay and Carl Fredericks defeating Danny Limelight and Tom Lawler. That's a little interesting there. Then on to earlier today, Saturday, March 27th. Tokyo Pro Spring Tour 21, Day 2, back in action. And I got to see this show, so Mizuki and Yuka Sakazaki team with Hyper Misio to defeat Mihiro Kiru, Miri Miyumi, and Suzumi. Hideka Tenma and Yuki Aino defeated Hikari Noa and Sunny Sina Shiori. Haruno Neko, Nai Kakuda, and Soka Nakajima defeated Rushu Endo, Marika Kobashi, and Yuki Kanfuku. Her team's been losing a lot, so I don't know what that says about her. Then Saki Sama with May St. Michelle in her corner defeated Moka Miyamoto. May was probably in her corner since she probably just got there from doing her Gotta Move, so she did double duty last night as well. And then finally, the glorious Maki Ito-chan, a team with Miyu Yamashita and Raku to defeat Miyu Watanabe, Riku Tatsumi, and Pam Harajuku. She thanked the crowd and is more confident than ever thanks to her AEW experience. So, Maki, keep kicking butt. On to Michinoku Pro Wrestling, where there's a 6-man tag match of Dick Togo, Jinsei Shinzaki, and the Great Sasuke defeated Ghana, Yapperman 1 and 2. So yeah, they're still wrestling out there. And all the great ones, right? Icer March 2021, 11:06 show took place, where there was a triangle ribbon title match where Matsuya Uno defeated champion Ram Kaicho and Baki Hoshi to become the champion. And for the Ice Infinity title match, champion Tsukasa Fujimoto defeated Maya Ukai. As I said, Gotta Move Chaka Pro 100 Day 1 took place on YouTube. No need to get into those, but check that out as you wish. There was actually more matches than usual. They actually had the Pure J Open with title online as well, so check that out as you wish. Dragon Gate Memorial Gate 2021 in Wakayama, opened the Dream Gate title. Champion Shun Skywalker defeated Cosmo Sakamoto. And then on WWE Network, or DemandProgress.com, Progress Chapter 107, Go Home, Lock Your Door, Do Your Homework, and Watch Progress. Love that title. From London, England. I pretty much spoiled this for myself, so I'm going to spoil it for everyone here who hasn't watched it. Spike Chevette defeated Chris Ridgway. Chuck Bombo and TK Cooper defeated Ethan Allen and Luke Jacobs. Kid Lycos and Kid Lycos 2 defeated Cara Noir and Danny Black. And Kanji defeated Millie McKenzie. As I'm past my time, I'm sorry about that, everyone. But as I mentioned last week, AAW is returning to action April 3rd in the Chicagoland area, live and free on Twitch at AAW Pro. So check that out at 6:35 Central Time. They are selling tickets. So here are the venues if you are interested. For the April 3rd, it's at Villa Park. And also April 24th, also in Villa Park. May 7th, they're in 115 Bourbon Street. May 22nd, they're back at Villa Park. June 11th, back in Bourbon Street. July 9th, back on Bourbon Street. August 7th, Bourbon Street as well. September 3rd, 4th. They're all October 1st and November 26th. They are all on 115 Bourbon Street. So check that out. I noticed the tickets were $50 a piece. It's a lot of wrestling, no action. It's not your normal AEW live shows. They're doing a lot of taping for their Twitch streams. So it's up to you. And then finally, before I forget, Retromania was out. I did get it. I did not want to wait for their Xbox Plus. So hopefully the email is right, and it will be a $5 buy for the stickers and posters. So that's what I was kind of looking for. So my personal game review, overall, it's excellent. It is not a WWE game, so if you're looking for that, this isn't for you. I will quote my friend Rich. It is like being at the convenience store again in 1988. As one who couldn't get to this convenience store, I approve. So you can't beat that, right? Can it be too easy? Yes. But that's fine by me. I mean, you can make it challenging as you wish. They've got sliders for it all, but the easier the better for me right now. The in-game artwork is great, and the details of the sprites very good. You can't complain here with the size of the wrestlers. They come out kind of, enlarged, and then in the ring they're a little smaller, so it still works out. So there is a story mode, which is a nice start to learn the ways of the game. I enjoyed this and left you wanting more, which I believe there will be more. Play it yourself, you'll figure that out. I'm battling the controller at the moment, so it might be easier to move for you, unlike for me, so who's using the arrow pad right now. Yeah. If anyone can help me out with the controller, please do. Let me know. Then there is a 10 pounds of gold. The name says it all. You win a bunch of different style matches to challenge Nick Aldis for the gold. And then you can defend the gold in exhibition mode, because that's one of the achievements, actually. The nice graphics here as well. Next up is Retro Rumble. This is a bit of a cluster. Yeah, I don't know why most of the wrestlers gather in one area, but it's still fun to play. With 16 wrestlers at the moment, all 16 actually are in the Rumble eventually, so it's very cool. It's a lot smoother than WWE 2K, I'll say that. So it's actually more enjoyable to play. And then finally there's Versus, which lets you pick through all the options and rings and match, wrestlers that get the rest of your achievements, or just have fun, mix and match these with 8-man tags, 6-man tags, you name it. They pretty much got it in this game, and 3 different steel cages, I believe. I know there's 2, but there might be a third. Didn't look through all of it. Sorry about that. Yes, I've watching online, hearing all the comments. Yes, their achievements are easy to get, but if you're like me, take your time. What's the rush? There's 39 achievements. Take your time. Since there are a lot of wrestler-oriented achievements, so just it's cool. Is the wrestler small? Yes, for now it is, but it's true to WrestleFest sequel. Since it is the sequel to WrestleFest, WrestleFest had like 12 or 16 characters at first. So, there's a DLC coming out with more wrestlers and maybe more else to come. They're working on it. That's what I can say. I mean, it's one guy and a crew. It's his dream to do this. Let him get it out. He's doing what he can. The other consoles, they're coming. So, if you're waiting for that, be patient. It's a good game. It's worth your time. It's $24.99 right now. I couldn't beat that. I mean, come on. That's cheaper than most other wrestling games in the beginning. And you get some really nice characters that you don't get to play anywhere else. So that's a plus for me. So that's my review. WrestleMania, 2 thumbs up. Keep on doing the good work, Mr. Herman. I hope it all goes well. That's wrap for me. Till next time, with more shows from around the wrestling world. Don't forget to look up those Twitch streams and YouTube channels for other wrestling content. Thank you for watching or listening. Hope you enjoyed another long cut. Sorry about that. Keep safe, take care, and be kind, everyone. Back to you, Tom.
All right, thank you as always, Charlie. And so I don't have a fantasy booker for this week. I just didn't, had a lot of stuff going on this week. Didn't have time to put one together. So we're going to jump right into the next segment of the show where I've been counting down my personal top 10 WrestleMania matches of all time, and I'm doing that in the weekly hot take. All right, so we are up to number 3 on my top 10 WrestleMania matches of all time, and this week, number 3 is the Shawn Michaels versus Razor Ramon ladder match from WrestleMania 10 in 1994. This match really kind of set the standard for what ladder matches would become, obviously for me, it's one of the top 3 WrestleMania matches of all time, just as far as importance and quality of the match. And like I said, it pretty much set the standard for what ladder matches would be. And out of this grew the tag team ladder matches that we saw with the Hardys and Edge and Christian, and the TLC matches with the Hardys and Edge and Christian and the Dudley Boys, and the Money in the Bank ladder match, and all of this sprang from this one match with Shawn and Razor with a single ladder throughout the match. They didn't have the underside of the ring filled with ladder after ladder after ladder. It was one ladder throughout the entire match. So and what these guys did in this match was just amazing. So that is my number 3 WrestleMania match of all time. Shawn Michaels versus Razor Ramon ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania 10, 1994. So that's pretty much going to wrap things up for this week. Want to mention again, coming up on WrestleMania week, we've got 3 big episodes dropping. On Sunday, April the 4th is our regularly scheduled episode. And then on in the morning of April the 5th, we will be dropping a special episode previewing everything for WrestleMania week, all the WWE events, the Hall of Fame, NXT TakeOver, NXT UK Prelude, Raw, Smackdown, and of course WrestleMania. Charlie's going to be previewing all the big indie shows coming up that week, so should be a pretty good show. We're going to try to cover as much as we can. And then on Friday, April the 9th, our special WrestleMania panel episode. It's myself, Charlie G, and 3 other special guests just discussing WrestleMania as an event, the history of WrestleMania, and what it means as far as sports, as far as wrestling, all kinds of stuff all about WrestleMania. That's coming on Friday, April the 9th. Make sure you check that one out. And then want to mention again, Charlie and I will be broadcasting live on June the 5th from Warrior Wrestling Stadium Series. Like I said, I'm going to be adding an events page to the website with that information and links to. I'll add the link for the tickets for Warrior Wrestling. I'll also add the link to the live stream. So head over to catchhookandshoot.com. I should have that up sometime this week. So that is going to wrap things up for this week. Again, I want to say thank you to everybody for watching, listening, and subscribing on YouTube or wherever you get your podcast from. Make sure to head over to catchhookshoot.com. Check out the podcast, the videos, the store, everything we got over there. Head to patreon.com/catchhookshoot for all your bonus content and your chance to win a free Catch Hook and Shoot t-shirt at any level on Patreon. You have an opportunity every month to win a free Catch Hook and Shoot t-shirt, so head over there and check that out. That's patreon.com/catchhookshoot. Make sure you're following on social media on all platforms. You can find the show at Catch Hook Shoot. Follow us on twitch.tv/catchhookshoot for our watch parties that I'm doing over there, weekly, bi-weekly, here and there. I'm doing some watch parties on Twitch, so make sure you go and check those out. Check out our Pro Wrestling Tees store, prowrestlingtees.com/catchhookshoot, and you can find links to all of that and more at linktree/catchhookshoot, or scan this little QR code right here in the corner if you're watching on YouTube. And if you ever want to shoot me an email, it's catchhookshoot@gmail.com. So with that, I'm going to sign off for this week. Hope everybody is staying safe, staying healthy. Have a great week. Enjoy all the great wrestling coming up, and I will talk to you guys soon.